Okay, we are live.
Yay!
Hello. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Pete.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much. So, this is the first time you've been on this channel, isn't it?
Yes, this is the first time I've ever attempted this technology. So, yes, definitely. But
It
thank
took,
you for inviting me.
it took me ages to get into live streams because they always terrified me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you found that when you first were
Yeah.
trying to do live streams. They're a bit scary.
The first one, really, really scary, nerves. And also, it's a problem with technology. It's like, is it going to go wrong? And then what do I do if it goes wrong? And yeah, but.
I had the same thing because
Mm,
one of my buddies is obviously Timmy from Imagine Sense, and he
yeah.
was big into doing these really long live streams. And I was like, Timmy, how do I do these things? Because I'm just not good with the technology. And
Yeah.
I was on the phone for like an hour for him teaching me how to set it up on my phone. But
Oh, really?
I'm a
Well, so
second hand at it now.
he taught you this thing here, this split
Not
screen StreamYard thing, or
this thing. This is StreamYard. This is a new thing.
yeah,
George from the Fragrance Apprentice showed me how this thing works. But originally it was Google Hangouts, but then they got rid of it.
right. So I can just use this app and I can do this and bring people on my channel.
Yes, as many
Yeah,
people as you want, I think.
it's quite easy to use.
Yeah, you just go to that StreamYard thing that I showed you.com,
Yeah.
put your name in, and it'll make you register your YouTube channel with it. And then you can just send people that link and boom, it's done. It's pretty good.
Cool.
And you can
Right.
highlight comments as well. Can you see the comment section, Claire? I don't know if you can see it on your
I'm
phone.
just literally just uploaded my the thing here on my laptop now.
Okay.
So yes, now I can. Oh, so we have Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Burgundy and Blue saying hi to Peter. Hillary, hi. I don't want to
Hi,
hijack
Hillary.
your channel. This isn't a hijack.
So we've got a few people in.
Yeah, that's good. Nice to see some familiar faces.
I'm just going to go to my YouTube live thing and because it doesn't show me how many people are watching. I want to check. 28.
28.
Okay, cool.
Wow, that's good.
So, just let me mute that. Oh, a few more people. Hi, Robert. How are you doing, my friend? Top of the morning to you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about vanilla fragrances in this video.
It's a battle. It's a vanilla battle.
Yes. And who's going to win? That's the question.
Well, I think that it needs to be these people watching that makes a decision on the winner or the winners of each.
Okay.
So I reckon you need to pit a vanilla at me, and I'm going to pit one back.
Oh.
And then everyone else can choose who's the winner of that battle. What do you reckon?
Okay, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. So we'll show off a bottle. We'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll take turns. Okay. I'm gonna pick one that probably not many people have got. Can I go first, or do you want to go first?
Go on, go.
Okay. So this one, I don't really hear anyone talking about it. It's by Kiehl's. And I think it's discontinued now, and it's called Vanilla and Cedarwood by Kiehl's. Everyone knows Kiehl's for Original Musk, but this one is lovely. And this one is a vanilla fragrance that is kind of soft and a little bit powdery. Do you know, like talcum powder?
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that to it, but then kind of imagine Play-Doh. Have you ever smelled like tubs of Play-Doh?
Yeah, I used to love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So this to me is like a talcum powder Play-Doh mixed with vanilla and cedarwood.
Okay.
So
is it foodie, or is it more like woodsy, spicy?
It's not like completely edible, but I would say it's more foodie than it's tricky. Because of the Play-Doh kind of powderiness, it's not like completely like you want to eat it like a gourmand. Yeah. But it is a tasty vanilla. But it's kind of light and airy and kind of musty, and no, it's lovely. So that one is not really talked about. So I thought it was a good choice to mention that one.
Definitely get points for originality. What do I come back at that with?
How are you going to beat that one?
Well, don't know about originality, but I've got a really good, fair priced vanilla So I've got Mont Galan Eau de Parfum Intense. So that's a lavender vanilla, but it's also really powdery. So I think it's in in the similar realms maybe to what you've come up with, but it's got the most delectable vanilla. It smells expensive, so it doesn't smell like, when it smells like cupcakes and it's a bit annoying and it's aimed at sort of younger people.
Yeah, more hyper sweet.
Yeah, it doesn't go hyper sweet. It doesn't feel fake or synthetic. When I smelt this blind before I knew what it was, Dan had me smell it blind, and I said, "Oh, this smells like one of the high-end Galan fragrances." But it's obviously it's a Galan. It's a Galan do vanilla so amazingly well, but it's actually normal line. But it's a kind of herbal-ish vanilla, so it kind of cuts through that sweetness. Herbal lavender cutting through the sweetness, and lasts really, really well, and just smells amazing.
Very cool. So, the colour of the juice is nice.
Yeah, and the bottle's really pretty.
I like Galan bottles.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah. So, do people want to tell us what they reckon's better?
Which one's better? Can you guys have got to who won that little battle round there? People in the comments.
Oh, thanks Hillary, by the way, for the compliment on my hair.
Olfactive Stories, Galan knows how to make a great vanilla.
Yes, definitely.
I think on these live streams, there's a slight delay from when we speak to when they hear it to when they comment. So there might be like a delay in the feedback. I'm going to move on to the next one while comments start coming in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with, in fact, people are saying Galan's winning. Robert's just typed. Galan for the win, says Emma.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Anyone else?
Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Look at everyone's. Galan.
Do you know what I think the problem is? You pick one that no one actually knows how it smells. So
probably
it's difficult, isn't it? Whereas a lot of people will know, they'll either know that or they'll know one of the flankers from that line to have an idea, kind of thing. I think that's what it is. So I'm being nice there, but I'm definitely the winner.
Well, literally no one picked mine, so I'll move on with it. This is another a less expensive one because I'm kind of someone says Steve Peter, is it Kiehl's? Yes, it was Kiehl's vanilla and cedar. But the next one is Eau de Michon's Cologne. I think a lot of people know this one.
Yeah.
George from the Fragrance Apprentice did a video a while back at a train station talking about this one. And his review was so good that I ended up buying it. And
I'm going to drink it then.
It is very nice. This one is super simple. It is a sweet, kind of resiny vanilla, so it's like benzoin and vanilla, but it's lovely. People compare it to Guerlain Spiritueux de Bois Vanille, but I don't really get. It's very the vanilla in the Guerlain is far better quality, and there's a lot more like cedarwood and rich woodiness in the Guerlain, way more richer and complex. This one is more a simple vanilla and resinous kind of vibe, but it's lovely. I kind of to be honest, I use this to spray my pillows on my bed sometimes, just for the bed to smell nice.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't even wear it on my skin. It's kind of like I just spray everything with it. But that's a really good choice, Eau de Michon's, and you can buy that giant bottle for like £10.
Yeah, I remember Dan got he got a 500ml from TK Maxx for £12.
Oh, bargain.
Yeah, half a litre of a really nice perfume for £12. So yeah, I do know that one quite well, and I think it's a great choice, definitely for an affordable. I haven't got anything that affordable to kind of go in the same
match it with
category. So I'm gonna go with, I've got another designer, so that's about the best I can do, and it's blood. I nearly swore then. I can't do that on your channel.
You can swear all you like.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Don't open those floodgates, Peter. So I've got a discontinued fragrance, and it's called Alien Essence Absolute.
Those bottles are pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah. So the juice, when you first get it, is yellowy gold, and then as it ages, the vanilla turns it this gorgeous liquefied amber color. And the vanilla in here is stunning. Not foodie, not Play-Doh, not sweetened. I can't get the bloody thing to spray. Not sweetened. Even on the paper, I don't know if you can see it coming out. This is a really woodsy vanilla, but it has got some sweetness, and it's got some of the alien DNA, but the alien DNA is brought right down from the original Alien, because I find that too much. I can't wear Alien, it wears me, it's so strong. This is just a little bit of the original Alien, but loads and loads of woody vanilla and resins. It's absolutely stunning. But discontinued. But you can still find it on eBay and stuff.
Well, to be fair, this one is hard to get, so it's kind of both the same kind of ballpark. People I feel bad for the guys in America, because this is really expensive to get that in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, people, what do we think? Is it Oud Emissions or is it Alien Essence Absolute?
I think I'm going to win. I think I'm going to win this one. I'm quietly confident.
Well, you might get it on affordability.
Oh, Robert says his Irish mummy will wallop him if he says the word bloody.
And he's a good boy.
He's a very good boy.
Yes. Hillary says, is bloody a curse word? It's kind of like a mild, the kind of curse word that your mum and dad would say in front of you as a child, and it'd be okay. Would you agree, Peter?
My mother hates the word bloody.
Oh, really?
She cannot stand it. So I would get told off for using that word.
Oh.
So it's never a word that I really use, to be honest.
I think it's just so British. It's so bloody damn British, isn't it? And I think that's probably why I like it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Everyone's picking Alien. I'm completely getting my ass whooped. Robert says, I'm going with Alien just to spite Peter for his Irish accents.
Oh,
and
an Irish accent.
Top of the morning to you. How are you doing? I'm going to do the whole live stream in an Irish accent just to piss off Robert.
I can't do it. I won't even attempt one. I couldn't do it.
I have smelled Alien Absolute, and it was quite nice. Too bad it has been discontinued. We've got one vote for Eau de Michons, and everyone else says Alien. So you've won that. You've won that again, Claire.
Alien for the win.
I'm losing. You know, I think we've got one on this list that I reckon that we'll both mention.
I think, yeah, I've got that. I know exactly what you mean, and I have bought it. But yeah, we could do it as like a snap moment. Okay,
so I'm gonna pick this one next. This one is Xerjoff. So we're going a little bit more niche now. Xerjoff Ivory Roots. To be fair, there's two really nice ones from Xerjoff that are vanilla. The other one I like is called Lyra.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't own Lyra. But this one, Ivory Roots, is sandalwood, vanilla, and kind of warm cooking spices. And it's just really rich and cozy. It lasts forever as well. It's like 12 hours on your skin. It's quite linear is the only thing. It really does not change. You get vanilla, sandalwood, and spice, and that's it for 12 hours. So you can kind of get bored of it, but it's warm and cozy, and it's just very rich. I think it's a beautiful vanilla fragrance, and probably, one of the best I've tried in terms of vanilla scents. The Lyra one I do really like has got a caramel note mixed with it, with a kind of an orangey bergamot top note, which is lovely. But both of them are excellent.
Yeah, I have tried both. With Lyra, I found the citrus is a bit annoying. Like the blood, it's got blood orange, isn't it?
I love that opening though. As the first time I smelled it, I was like, oh, it's got orange in the opening. It works really well with the caramel.
I don't know if I really like that, like citruses and vanilla, but in the dry down, then you get that gorgeous vanilla and the caramel. But it is a little bit linear as well, isn't it? I think, Lyra.
Yeah.
And there's that dupe for it, Tender Madeleine, and I really couldn't tell much difference, which is Les Senteurs Gourmands. Tender Madeleine's like, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds a bottle, and side by side, I really couldn't pick much out different. Have you tried that one?
I haven't, no.
No. Okay, it's a good one. Try it. So, like, save your pennies and get Tender Madeleine.
These comments are going my way, by the way, Claire. Have a look.
Oh no, hang on though. Yeah, but they haven't seen that.
Go on then.
Hold your horses, people. Right then, I might. Do I bring out the big guns?
Go on then.
All right.
She's putting on the boxing gloves.
Well, actually, this might not be that popular, only because it's really difficult to get, and it is Iris Ganache from Guerlain. So yes, it says Iris in the title, but it's just got a ton of vanilla in the dry down. So when you first, I need to fill up my atomizer, but when you first smell it, it is like it's a woody iris with some cinnamon. It's a little bit spicy, so we've got spices like you do in your Zerjoff. But then as it gets into the dry down, it's really a lot about the vanilla, and it's the Guerlain again. So it's the amazing Guerlain vanilla dry down. And you have this white chocolate note, which I don't find it super chocolatey. I think it just like rounds up the vanilla, if you like, sweetens it up a little bit. And it goes on forever. It lasts forever. It's absolutely stunning, but it's expensive, and you have to go to Paris to pick it up. So it's not ideal. But yeah, that's my B bottle of Iris Ganache.
Very cool. Who's going to win that one then?
Yes.
Okay, people in the comments, who's going to win? Is it Zerjoff or is it Guerlain? Ryan says Ivory Root by hair.
By a hair. Fair enough. Fair enough. Iris Ganache from Robert. Jasmine says core.
Emma says, sorry, Claire, it's Ivory Root.
Oh, really?
And then Christy says Peter wins with Ivory Root, but Claire wins with a B bottle.
Ah, okay.
It's actually, a few people are saying Guerlain. Olfactive Story said Guerlain.
Yeah.
Another one for Ivory Root. I think Ivory Root's just slightly won that one.
I think you're right. I think it's just pipping it by that hair.
Burgundy and blue, another Ivory Root.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that sealed it.
All right then, we'll let you have that one, Peter.
Is that the only one I've won so far?
Pretty close. Yeah, so I'm 2, you're 1.
Okay. Well, I'm losing. Cool.
At the moment, there's everything to play for.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring out the most expensive one in my in this collection.
Mm-hmm.
This one is House of Matriarchs Coco Blanc. I fell in love with this vanilla, and this one is a natural vanilla tincture. I think the perfumer Christie gets the vanilla from Hawaii, but it's a natural vanilla tincture that's very woody. There's a lot of sandalwood in there, and there's gentle spices. It's not a spicy fragrance. It's just like how I imagine. There's a kind of a white chocolate accord in here as well. So what I imagine is imagine a white chocolate vanilla smoothie that's sprinkled lightly on the top with nutmeg, and then like a sandalwoody biscuit base. That's how I imagine this one.
I'm hungry now.
It's very edible. To me, it's like a smoothie that you could drink.
Yeah.
Very tasty. It's like I called it a neck nibbler because it's like you literally want to just
Yeah. See, I tried that. Dan had samples for a long time ago, and I really, because you were talking about it a lot at the time, so we're going back to when you kind of talked about it quite a lot. And Dan had samples, and I remember being really disappointed because I expected it to be a lot sweeter and a lot more mod, and it was more like
more woodsy.
Yeah, more woodsy. I didn't really get a lot of chocolate from sort of a quick testing, but I haven't properly tested it, so.
The natural vanillas are a lot more, like you say, more kind of woody and less of that rich sweetness.
Yeah.
The sweetness.
How I prefer them anyway.
The more vanilla that people recognize is the vanillin, which is like the synthetic vanilla accord, which is a lot sweeter and the more recognizable as vanilla. Whereas natural vanilla is, like you say, kind of quite a lot more woody.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it that's very delicious to me.
I will retest it. I'll get Dan to search through all his crap and try and find those samples so I can retest it. So he'll be pleased to get that text message.
The only downside is the price of it is pretty expensive. It's $330 for the 50 ml.
Do they still sell it?
Huh?
Are they still selling it?
Yeah, it's still there. On my skin, it doesn't do that well. I get about 4 hours, so it might put some people off with the longevity.
Yeah, I think that would put me off.
Yeah, but I love the way it smells. So you got to beat that one. Right. That's a serious niche vanilla.
Okay. My problem is most of my fragrances are from the same house that I've picked, but let's. So I'm
we're gonna never go on.
Yeah, I want to bring another Galan, but I feel like I shouldn't. So I did bring a selection. So I am going to bring out the one that I know you're going to bring out.
Okay.
Giving it a shake.
Hey.
Here we go. So we have a Feline. Cheers. See if we can get them to clink.
Hold on. This is. Wait. I've got to go that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Clink, clink.
No, I've got to go the wrong way. Wait. Do it again. I've got to figure this out. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Clink. There we go. That was difficult.
That was silly,
I'm doing it in reverse. Oh dear.
So yeah, I brought out my Feline. You know exactly how it smells, but for those who don't, what am I doing? It's a very rich, resinous, spicy vanilla that lasts and lasts and lasts. It's really cozy. It's gorgeous. It gets mellower the longer it's on your skin, and definitely everyone loves it. And look at the bottle. Come on, gold.
Well, we've got the same one here. The way it's just spiraling around.
Well, I think in terms of value, you've got to admit that it's better value than the Coco Blanc.
Oh, well, yeah.
I know the more expensive still. It's expensive, but it's not as expensive. You get more juice and it definitely lasts longer.
Well, I got this free in Milan, so it didn't cost me anything. So it's definitely good value.
Amazing value.
But I agree. It's like you say, it's rich, kind of resinous, deep, brilliant vanilla. So, and it does last forever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you can smell like the next day. It's like just ridiculous longevity.
Brilliant. So, what are people saying here?
Christy says Coco Blanc because I want a milkshake, and she loves natural vanilla, but she loves the Feline bottle. Jasmine says the bottle is eye-catching for Feline.
It is. It's absolutely stunning. It's one of the most beautiful bottles in my collection, except for one. Do you want me to show you what the other one is?
Yes, please. Jasmine says the bottle is gorgeous bottle, best she's ever seen in years.
But what about that beauty?
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I love it. I think it's absolutely stunning. So
thank you very much.
A ruby gem. So there you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What are people saying?
People are voting for Feline. I think this golden bottle. They're all enamored with the gold. I think.
I got them with the bling.
It's kind of. Is it? I can't scroll up the thingamajig to see more comments. Okay, let me go to YouTube. Feline, beautiful and loved by all, says Ryan. And then Emma says, "Shit, I'm changing my mind. Feline is amazing." And then Jasmine says, "You did an excellent job too, Peter." Agreed. It's good to know it's not all fur coats and no knickers, says Robert.
What's he talking about? Feline?
I've no idea.
Or your everyday wardrobe?
Peter looks embarrassed for that kind of Centauri plug there.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think Feline looks like it's won that one.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
It's 3-1. Am I right?
Yes, I've only won one round.
3-1. I'm trying to find a vanilla fragrance that's not by Galan in this room. Can I have all glands? Is that
Go
that
for it.
terrible? Okay. All right then. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one.
Well, my fifth one was Loon Feline, which we've already talked about. I'm going to talk about ones that I don't own because those all the ones I physically own in my collection that are more heavily vanilla based. I've got ones that have vanillas in the notes, but that I was going to talk more specific vanilla.
Yeah.
But I've got loads in my head that I can think of. In fact, I'm going to talk about a girl, Anne. I don't know if you've got it. You might have it. You might not have it. I've mentioned it already. Spiritus du Balvenie is one of the most beautiful vanillas I have ever smelled. I just have a 5 ml decant of it, and when I smell it, I can literally feel my brain melting out of my ears. Like it just does something to my head where I go, oh, it's amazing. It's an intoxicating vanilla and cedarwood that it's just gorgeous. I really love that one. So for me, that's the best vanilla that Guerlain has made. For my personal, it just does something to my head where it's just like, ugh, it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
So
I like
that would be my choice.
Yeah, I do like that one, but I never fell in love with it and felt the need to own it. So the one I've got is from the same line, and it's Bois d'Harmonie.
Oh.
Probably can't really see it, but it's Bois d'Harmonie, not got much left. And this one is the it smells a bit like the papier d'Harmonie, you know, the incense, the papers. So it's kind of based off that smell, which of course is benzoin. So benzoin's vanilla-y anyway. And then it smells like those gorgeous papier d'Harmonie. And then in the dry down, it just gets more and more vanilla-y. So I'd say you should try that one, Peter, because the dry down's a lot of vanilla, like tons of vanilla. It don't take long to get there. So I think you might like that, maybe almost as much as you like Spiritueuse. But oh, it's so good. So you just want to drown in it. It's so good. It's kind of like woody. So it's like a powdery, woody, sweet benzoin type resin smell, quite sweet, and then it just gets vanilla-y and vanilla-y.
Does that one have a slight Play-Doh vibe to it, or is it missing the Play-Doh?
Bit sweetened, I guess. I wouldn't say it's as sort of savoury and woody as, say, like the Alien is. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some other things sweetening it up a little bit, as well as obviously the vanilla and resin. Yeah, it is beautiful. A touch smoky as well. So I think you'd really like that one. And I would send you some, but I've only got that left. So otherwise,
oh no, that's precious. Keep it.
If I get any more, I'll definitely let you try it.
Cool.
It's gorgeous. So what do people think?
Which Guerlain is the best one?
Which Latte Matier is the best? Or throw in your own if you've got a preference of a different lot. Because all the Latte Matiers, almost all of them, don't you think have got quite a good amount of vanilla in them?
Definitely.
Robert is really good.
Robert left a hilarious comment.
Did he?
Where's it gone? Oh, we're getting loads of comments I'm not seeing on the. Okay, I have to scroll way back up. Hold on. I'm trying to find Robert's funny comment. Robert says, I've got Spiritueuse de Balvenie in the old style bottle, and it's matured so much that the juice is darker than underneath my bed.
Oh, okay. Oh dear. Do you want to delve there? It's only gotten better with age, unlike myself, he says.
Oh dear. Emma says she hasn't tried either, only Tonka Imperial, but I'd go with SDV.
Yeah,
Tonka Imperial to me was heavy on the kind of the Play-Doh-y vibe. And I don't fully dig when it's like when I just smell Play-Doh. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm the same. With Tonka Imperial, to me it was a bit too sweet spicy. You know what I mean? I think the Tonka was maybe too heavy for my taste. I like Tonka as a note, but not as the main note. I think that's the thing with me. So I found that a bit too spicy, a bit too rich. and yeah, slightly annoying if I'm honest. But I love. I mean, I'd happily wear the whole line. Really, they're all good. But yeah, Wild Harmony is definitely way up there as one of my absolute favourites.
Another one I can think of, and I've only got about 5 ml of this one as well. I don't own a bottle of it, but it is very good. I did a review on it a while ago, and despite the name, it is vanilla based. It's by Killian, and it's called Amber Oud.
Mm.
And this one, despite it having oud in the name, it's not oud at all. It's, to me, it would be better called like amber vanilla or something. That's what it is. It's a mixture of ambers and vanilla, and it's
Okay.
this sweet, boozy-ish, vanilla-y, resinous, warm, super cozy, rich vanilla fragrance that's really, really lovely. And I'm not a fan of By Killian. I don't like a lot of By Killians,
Yeah.
but that one is really nice.
Sounds quite nice because the oud in, if you put oud in the name of anything, then I don't even bother testing it. So I would definitely wouldn't have even tried that.
Yeah, there's I don't smell any oud whatsoever. It's amber and it's vanilla and it's just rich and cozy and sensuous, and
yeah,
it's just what I kind of want in a vanilla fragrance.
Mm.
So I would mention that one as well as one of my favorites that I've tried.
Yeah, another one I'm going to mention is a bottle that I broke, but I miss it, and it's called Aura Sublime by Bijon Parfums. And so that is a citrus and vanilla, which I said to you earlier. I'm not that keen on citruses with vanilla, but the citrusy, so it's got bergamot in the opening, and the citruses do sort of dissipate fairly quickly, and then you're left with a powdery, clean vanilla resin thing that's lighter than, say, for example, that one, but it is just stunning. You know, it's called Aura Sublime, and it literally gives you that sublime aura. It couldn't be named better. It's absolutely stunning. So I really miss that fragrance. Just a kind of clean, not too sweet, resinous vanilla in the dry down, but it lasted ages and ages on the skin. And yeah, it broke in the car park where I used to live. Left the car park smelling amazing, but yeah, and me pretty much crying. But gorgeous fragrance, that one.
Someone in the comments just mentioned this one. We've talked about it already, and yeah, a very good vanilla fragrance. Oh, and the price is just ridiculous. I don't know whether he's speaking from Europe, as in the price is really cheap and ridiculous, as in it's good because it's so cheap, or whether he's from America and he's realized that it costs a ridiculous amount because they overcharge in America for it. It could go either way. Robert says Juliet has a gun. Vanilla vibes as a good summer vanilla fragrance. Have you tried that one? I've not tried any from Juliet Has a Gun.
I haven't tried that one. It didn't grab my attention from the notes. It sounded a bit like, is it just going to be a bit of a freshness and a bit of coconut? I think it's coconut, isn't it? A bit of coconut, a bit of vanilla. I just wasn't that excited to try it, but yeah, if you like it, great.
Christy says, do we know any vanilla fragrances that aren't too cloying for the hot weather? I can't imagine personally. This is me personally. I can't imagine wearing too many vanilla fragrances in summer heat. I don't know about you.
I think if you go for the beachy ones, because there's a lot of those monoid type beach scents have got vanilla in them. So I don't know if Chameleon from Zoologist has a bit of vanilla in it, but those ones that have got the exotic flowers, there's beachy Terracotta by Galan. I think that's got a bit of vanilla in it. I've got it. Oh, I forgot it. No, it's not there. Yeah, I think if you go for the beachy vibe type fragrances, then they'll be a bit more suitable, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
For me, I don't lean that way for hot weather. I kind of avoid sweet stuff. The Seven Virtues Vanilla Wood is a great summer scent. It says paint it black.
Okay, not heard of that one.
What else can I think of?
So PM
I'm trying to rack my brain for more vanilla fragrances.
IR says the Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder is a good one. So that's a tuberose beachy style fragrance. I think that's got a bit of coconut as well.
Barbara says, "Hello guys, finally live with a woman." I mean, I do a lot of live streams with dudes, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's funny because there are quite a lot of your people that watch your lives. There's quite a large proportion of women compared to, say, some of the other fellas,
which is quite nice.
Yeah. So Painted Black Saint Atelier Vanille Insensé. So that's because that's quite a lighter fragrance. So that might work for fresher summer.
Oh, I have a sample of that.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting. Vanilla incense from Atelier Cologne is great and not a sweet vanilla. What about Annick Goutal fragrances? Okay, so that's just reminded me. It's just fired some brain stems here. Okay, so Annick Goutal do have a couple of really good vanilla fragrances, and my brain's gonna completely fail me right now.
You've got is it Chat Noir or something? Vanille
what people know there's one that I've talked about on my channel.
There's vanilla and there's vanille. Is it exquise as well? Vanille exquise.
I've not tried that one. Vanilla. Oh, Lily's in Vanilla Chanel. That one. I love the opening of that one in the mid, but the dry down wasn't fantastic. Oh, hi Tammy, how you doing? Yes, that's the one. Ambre Sauvage by Annick Goutal. That one's a really, really good vanilla. It's vanilla with iris, so you get this powdery iris with vanilla and spice, and it's super long lasting. It's like 24 hours on your skin. It's ridiculous. That one is really good. And Vanilla Chanel is the other one that I like from that, which is, like I say, the opening is like this rich kind of, I don't know really how to describe it, more like, almost like a boozy vanilla in a weird way. But that one is lovely. But I wasn't keen on there was something in the dry down that didn't work well on my skin. It was almost like a sharp kind of piercing wood smell that was a bit synthetic. So the dry down kind of hurt my nose a little bit, but the beginning and mid of that was amazing. But Annick Goutal do a couple of good ones for vanilla.
I have to try them. So a couple of people are saying Orchidee Vanille. Have you tried that one from Van Cleef and Arpels?
I don't think so. No.
That's quite a sweet one. So I used to have a bottle and I loved it, and then I decided it was too sweet because it's got like a liquid chocolate kind of feel to it, and I decided it was just a bit too sweet, and I got rid of it. So my tastes have changed. My need for sweetness has calmed down quite a lot over the last few years, and I then find things now too sweet, which never used to happen. So yeah, that one was too sweet for me in the end.
Oh, you're getting a lot of compliments here, Claire. Everyone's saying how lovely you look and how nice your hair is.
Oh, thanks. Hair by Santino. Jumper by Dorothy Perkins.
Barbara says, it seems women reviewers are not as popular. I find it sad. Girl power.
Yeah, girl power. Yeah, it's strange. It's just, well, I don't know if there's less female reviewers or they just don't get as many.
I mean, Demi Rawlings, the poster girl of like, she's like the Jeremy of, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, in terms of numbers of subscribers, like popularity, she's like over 100,000 now, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's really popular. So I don't know. I'm not going to get into my theories.
Oh, my battery's getting a bit low.
Do you need to plug in?
If I can get my plug to reach. Oh, I might be able to, yeah, if I can do it from the laptop, that might work, mightn't it?
But there's loads of great female reviewers.
Yes, we have several in our audience right now.
Beauty Meow, I think she's great.
Yes, Kristen.
Yeah, she's very knowledgeable. Lola Sense, I love Lola. She's just fantastic.
Laura. Yeah, she's brilliant.
So there's a few really good ones.
Yeah, and I like Delicious Delights. I like how honest she is, and she's quite critical, and I like that. She just describes things how she smells them rather than relying on note listing. I think we all appreciate that. So she's great. There's a lady, yeah, that's it. Paint It Black, say Mila LeBlanc. Maybe not as many of you will know Mila, because she doesn't just do perfume, she does beauty and fashion and all sorts. She is hilarious. She is stunningly beautiful, Russian, and massively high maintenance and completely honest about it. And she's just hilarious to watch. So I love her videos. They make me giggle.
Hillary asks, how do you feel about Musc Ravageur by Frederic Malle? For me, I have done a review on this one. It did not work on my skin. I tested this for the first time when I visited my buddy in Canada. I went to Vancouver, and we went around the fragrance stores in Vancouver, and I that was the first time I smelled Musc Ravageur, and I sprayed it on my hand because it smelled really good from the test strip. I was like, oh, this is a good vanilla. Sprayed it on my hand, left the store, and walking down the street, all I could smell was stale urine. Like it had if you walk past a men's urinal that's like not being cleaned well, and you get that kind of stale urine smell from just men's dirty toilets, it had that note in the perfume mixing with the vanilla that was just like, oh my, I cannot handle this. I was like, what? I had to wash that stuff off. It did not work on me at all.
I haven't properly tried that one.
I don't know if that's skin chemistry, but man, if it smells like that on other people, it's just repulsive.
Is that Castoria?
Sorry, Hillary. I don't know what's in there to make it that. I don't know, honestly, but it just did not. It might be my just skin chemistry. Hopefully other people, it doesn't go that way. But for me, on my skin, it was not a good experience.
Yeah.
Robert says, Musc Ravageur reminds me of two feral cats fighting in a gingerbread house. Pissy all over the place, but sweet too. Maybe it's not just me.
That's a nice analogy. That you should sell that one to Frederic Malle, see if they put that in their marketing.
That's funny.
Clemence, someone's mentioning Clemence. Musc Ravageur is Clemence's sexiest scent. So Clemence is another really great female reviewer. If you haven't checked her out already,
I know her from Instagram. Yeah.
She's got the most beautiful
French accent.
Fake French accent. It's like cliche, but it's just lovely. And yeah, I really like her channel. I think she's going to take off. She's good.
Alberto says, Men Urinal, fantastic. Comfort and Sense says, Robert should do his own channel. I agree. I get two with the original formulation. I think it's a huge clove note. They toned that way back since.
That might be why you hate it.
Clove, it reminds me of toothache. When I was a kid, I used to have the most horrendous toothache. I did not look after my teeth growing up as a child. I ate a lot of sweets, and I suffered for it. I had fillings in the back molars, and so when I had this such severe toothache pain, my mother used to put clove essential oil onto cotton buds and press it against the gum. And the taste of it is disgusting. It burns so bad. It's like battery acid in your mouth. And so I was like burning in pain, and the taste of it, and that's just scarred me. So the smell of clove, instantly I'm like toothache. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of clove.
Yeah. So that might be why you don't like Musc, or part of why you don't like Musc Ravageur. Apart from
no, it's definitely because of the piss smell. Oh dear.
They're encouraging Robert. Tammy says she'll give him a pint and a potato.
Potato. Musc Ravageur Animalic reminds me of a perfume called Absolute Pour les Soies. I don't know that one. I'll give you a pint and a potato. That's just genius. If you knew phone screens could crack just from watching a video, you would be seeing my face on camera.
Oh, I doubt that.
You should start a channel. I'd watch it. I'd subscribe to you in a second, buddy. And if you do, I'll send you a potato.
Well, you could draw a face on the potato and have the potato as the host, and you just do the talking. That would work, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing. I would watch that. just an animated potato face.
Yeah.
With an Irish accent. Top of the morning to you. It's Robert the Potato here. And today we're going to talk about skanky ouds. This one is Alcat by Zerzhov. It smells like cow's diarrhea, but I love it. I wear it while drinking a pint of Guinness. If that's offensive, I'm sorry, Robert.
No, you're not.
No, I'm really not. It's all in good fun. Is Muscovy similar to Shalimar? I would say no, personally. I think Shalimar's a lovely fragrance. And I don't get any kind of pissy nuances from Shalimar, personally. That one's kind of more dusty, powdery, soft, more sensual. It's quite rich as Shalimar.
I find the opening quite difficult with Shalimar. It's a little bit harsh, isn't it? It's kind of it's a lemony bergamot thing, but it's a bit harsh. So I don't really have that much experience wearing Shalimar because I can't get past the opening too much.
The dry down's lovely. What's the pissy notes? I'm not sure what causes that smunky. What word am I trying to use? Skanky. That's the one. I don't know what makes that skanky kind of note. I'm actually not sure. I don't think it is the clove. I can't imagine clove making it turn urine smell.
It's supposed to have sort of skanky musks in it, isn't it? I think
it could be that. Yeah, if there's some kind of dirty animalic musks to it, that's probably what's causing it. Someone says House of Matriarch have an oud perfume for $660. Well,
two.
That's buy 10 of them. I don't know. I've never smelled it. Have I? Oh, is that the one I'm thinking of? I think Tammy might have sent me a sample of that one. Is it Eaglewood or something? I'm not sure. I like the Soufflé de Parfum version. I don't know what that is. What's that one?
Shalimar.
Shalimar.
Souffleur, apparently.
Souffleur
de Parfum.
Okay.
So it's a much easier to wear. It's still got a fresh openings. It's still got sort of citrus and some orange blossom, but then it's a lot of vanilla and musk, a lot of clean white musk. It's lovely. It's a really nice fragrance.
Tam says, yeah, but I didn't send that one, lol. Yeah, if it's Eagle, I've never smelled it. I've no idea what that one smells like, so I can't enlighten anyone on that one. I'm sorry. I cannot pronounce French words. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. How'd you say it, Claire?
Soufflé de Parfum.
Soufflé.
Yeah. But I used to call it soufflé, as in the dessert. But
I was just taking a drink and I had to stop myself from putting it in my mouth because I was laughing. Go on, sorry.
I used to say soufflé.
Soufflé.
It's been cough it up, Peter.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I've seen people apparently the correct way of saying it is souffleur.
Souffleur.
It's a slightly different meaning, although it's the same spelling as soufflé.
I failed French in school. It was embarrassing. I was so bad at it. In fact, I'm a bit emotionally scarred from my French lessons because, oh my God, I just remember this French teacher. I'm not going to say his name, but he was very, very eccentric. And he reminds me now, who's the one with the dark hair in Harry Potter that's the kind of the is he Snape? Is he called Snape?
Yeah, Snape, yeah.
Yeah.
The black-haired one, yeah.
Yeah. He reminded me of him. That he kind of looks that way, and just the weird kind of eccentricness about him. And he used to keep these weird kind of stuffed animals on his desk in front of the classroom, and it was just really odd. But I was in the second highest French group in school. Like I was in a really high French group that was like the people in that group can speak French. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like accidentally put in there, and I should be like in the bottom of the bottom group. This is terrible. All I can say is bonjour. So I'm struggling really badly, coping with being in like this really high French group, and I'm just terrible at French. And this French teacher knew I should not be there, and he used to ask me questions in French, and I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. I remember one question. He asked me something about he asked me this question in French, and it was like, what's your favorite day of the week? So I just said out loud, Wednesday, in English. I was like, I don't know, mate. I can't speak French. What am I in this group for? It was terrible. Needless to say, when I did my GCSE, I got an F. I failed it completely.
Oh, I quite like French.
French was not for me. Oh dear.
Quite enjoyed French. I think I got a C, but that was really, I could have probably done better. But yeah, I didn't really put in that much effort. But it comes in handy for pronouncing the old frags. Sometimes, yeah.
I just try and avoid. I do it if yeah. I have a go, but I'm pretty useless at French. Bonjour, ça va? Je m'appelle Pierre. Au revoir. That's literally, that's all I know. That's everything.
Très bien.
Musk lavender does contain a musk as a note, so it's probably mixing with the clove and giving off a musty urine-like smell to some people. See, that's the thing. It's some people. Not everyone gets it. So I'm presuming Hillary doesn't walk around smelling of cat piss.
Actually, she probably does. And I say that
she just can't tell herself.
She's an animal groomer, not because I think she looks like she stinks, but her funny. Job is animal grooming, so that she probably does on occasion smell of cat piss. Am I right, Hillary?
Or dog pee.
Yeah.
I don't think any schools in my country offered French as a language.
Oh.
Are you Australian, Peter? No, I'm English. I'm from Yorkshire in England. Do I have an Australian sounding accent? That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
No, you don't.
Okay. Just put it into Google and translate it to hear how it's pronounced. See, that's a lot of effort, Lily. You're expecting a lot from me there. Oh dear. I'm horrible with accents, lol. I could pretend I'm Irish.
No, you don't need to do that anymore, Peter. I think we've heard enough of that.
I do enjoy doing Irish accents. Peter, you don't sound like an Aussie. Okay. I have a few Australian friends. A few of my offshore friends are for Aussies and Kiwis. A few from New Zealand. I'd like to go sometime. I've never been to Australia. Have you ever been?
No. I nearly got there, but I fell off a motorbike in Thailand and came back with my leg all
ouch
up. So yeah.
What? Tell me that story. What happened?
It's too embarrassing. So me and my friend were supposed to be doing a bit of traveling. We started in Thailand, went up. We were in Bangkok for a bit, then we went up north to Chiang Mai.
I was going to say I've been to Chiang Mai.
It was lovely. We went on this jungle trek. And
did you ride an elephant while you were in Chiang Mai in the jungle trek? We probably did the exact same trail.
Yes, about 3 days walking through a jungle.
Yes.
Village.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You sleep in it's like a wooden hut thing, and you sleep on like a straw mat thing with like a really hard, rough pillow thing, and there's chickens walking around, and when you're sleeping, you can hear kind of rats and chickens scurrying around.
We drank quite a lot.
Okay. Did you have like a witch doctor shaman come round offering you like stuff to smoke? I didn't do any of that because I'm an innocent little baby, but they had like a witch doctor.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I had an unpleasant experience with the toilet. I'm not going to go into any details on that. And yeah, then we carried on doing this jungle trek thing, and it was really hard work, and I was not that fit, and we were with me and my friend, both girls, and we were with all these strapping Irishmen. Actually, they were all like 6 foot plus, strong lads. Then at the end of it, we agreed to meet up, And we met the guides as well, and the two guides turned up. One of them had his motorbike, and we had a few drinks in the pub. And then for some reason, a few of us were sitting on the motorbike, and one of the lads behind me was like, "Go and take it down the road, Claire." And my friend my friend Hayley said, "Don't, Claire, remember what happened in Turkey." Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you that story. But she said, "Don't, Claire, remember what happened in Turkey." So I said, "Okay." And then the lads behind me, who were quite nice looking, said, "Go on, Claire." So, of course, I took the bike down the road. Apparently, a dog chased after us. One of the lads kicked his leg out at the dog to kind of like get it away. And the bike toppled with the weight of two blokes and me. It toppled, and I think I kicked my leg out to stop, like to try and keep the bike up, but there was no chance. So I kind of like ended up on the curb, and my knee just ballooned instantly.
Oof.
And so then I was after that. So I went to hospital the next day, and then I was hopping around on crutches for a while. Still, like, got the night train back down to Bangkok. Managed to get go to Phi Phi Island, and then it was like, I can't keep doing this. This is too hard. Like, my knee was like, it was all wrapped up, and I cuts all over my foot. My friend was a veterinary nurse, so she was cleaning my feet and dressing my wounds. But in the end, I had to call the insurance company, and they came and got me.
Oh dear, that's
Yeah.
well.
I didn't get to Australia, which was next on the list.
Maybe one day then.
I don't know if I'm that bothered, actually. There's so many other places I think I'd rather see first.
Where do you want to go? I'm curious because I'm big into traveling, obviously.
I want to go to Hawaii. It just looks stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I like islands, so like French Polynesia and all that. Where else? There's a few places in Africa. Where's that? Round the corner from South Africa. It kind of like went through quite a bad time, and then it's a bit more. I forgot what it's called.
Not sure.
I can't remember what it's called, but loads of places I want to go to.
There's a few stunning places in Africa. There's I've got a few South African friends because a lot of them do diving work. I'm trying to Namibia is one that has the most incredible landscapes. But there's a lot of countries in Africa that are just like unbelievable in the landscapes that they have. It's just unbelievable. They're just fantastic. Tammy says, was it Tanzania that you were thinking of?
No, I'm gonna have to get my map up and I'll find it.
But yeah, I would like to travel more in Africa. I've worked in Angola on the west coast, but that was for offshore. So they flew me out to the Republic of Congo first, and the Congo was a little bit didn't feel that safe, to be honest.
Imagine.
It was a little bit funny. We were told really not to leave the hotel, and we were right by the beach in the Congo. But just driving through it, we were like, it was a little bit rough in the Congo.
Yeah.
And then from the Congo, we went to the port to the vessel, and then sailed out, and then we worked in the coast of Angola. And it was only about, I think, a week or 2 weeks work on an FPSO, doing some bolt tensioning on a new pipeline. And then, flew home from Angola. And then I've been to Egypt. So obviously a lot further north. But that's the only places I've been to so far in Africa. I'd like to see a lot more. It's just such a huge country. It's massive.
Yeah. So I've only been to South
continent.
Africa. South Africa, Tunisia, Egypt. That's all I've done. But yeah, it was Mozambique because I've got a couple of friends in South Africa, and my friend said a lot of South Africans go to Mozambique for their holidays because apparently it's really beautiful. I think it went through, I'm not very good at history and politics, but I'm pretty sure there was a terrible time going back maybe like 20 years or so, maybe longer. I think something went on in Mozambique that wasn't too pleasant, but apparently it was very up and coming now. So kind of fancy going there.
What else have you got in mind?
Well, let's have a look at the map. So it's like shopping. I wouldn't mind seeing. So when I worked on a couple of cruise ships, so I saw quite a bit of different places, which was fantastic. And we stopped in Venezuela once, and that was really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of that part of the world. So maybe Brazil, Chile. That might be nice. I went to Cuba last year on my holiday, but that was very like it was pure, like not Cuba. No, Cuba was 3 years ago. Mexico I went to last year, but they're like typical holiday, like all inclusive type holidays. So I quite like I like just traveling on my own and exploring slightly less touristy places.
A quick shout out to Robes08 Mark. Thank you very much. Every time he joins the stream, he donates me money. So
Yes.
it's much appreciated, buddy. Thank you very much. Floating Man says, I'd love to see more of India and Nepal and Pakistan. I really want to go to see India. I've never been. I've got into all this spiritual stuff recently, and obviously a lot of that originates from India. So I'd love to see a lot of India. I would like to see a lot more South America too. I've only been to. I stayed a little while in Peru. I did saw Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is just the most. I wanted to see it since, well, just for a long, long, long time. But it's like it's almost so beautiful. It looks not real. You look at it and you think, I'm just inside a Photoshop image or something. It's like a dream or something. It's so beautiful. It's like, how is this a real thing? So Machu Picchu was stunning. Then I went to, so that was like Cusco and around that kind of area. Although I did feel, I first flew to, what's the, I'm trying to think of the capital. My brain's gone blank. What's it called? Lima. Sorry, Lima is the capital of Peru. That's where I stayed originally, and I felt really unsafe in Lima.
Oh, really?
I go traveling on my own. I don't go with tour groups. I literally just do everything by myself. And I don't feel unsafe a lot of the time. I've never felt uncomfortable, but Lima was the only place where I actually felt vulnerable. I thought I could get messed up here.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't feel safe in Lima. At least I didn't in the place that I was at.
Yeah.
There's some really I don't know, poverty kind of areas that are just really rough. Like it's just not a good place. Some of it. I'm not saying all of it. If you stay to the main touristy parts, then you're safe. But when you start going in back streets or in kind of the local neighborhood areas, then you're gonna get your stuff robbed. Basically, it's not safe. That's the only time I've felt unsafe traveling was in Lima. Everywhere else I've been very comfortable. But Cusco was super friendly, but that's mainly because it's more touristy. All the backpackers go there because they're all on the way to Machu Picchu.
Right. Yeah.
But so much more of South America. I want to say I went to Chile, Santiago, and then from there I flew to Easter Island. And if I can recommend one thing to people, is just go out of your way once in your life to visit Easter Island for a week, because it is incredible. It's a very, very small island. You can drive from one end to the other in 20 minutes. Very, very small. You have to take a plane there from Chile. It's a little island off the coast of Chile in the middle of the ocean, middle of nowhere. And there's these just huge Moai statues that are just unbelievable.
Wow.
And
yeah.
the sunsets there, you can sit on the beach every night and look at the sunset going down. And because there's no light pollution, there's one village on that island, and that's it. The rest of it's just an island. There's no people living there. Everyone's clustered in one little village.
They've all got to be inbreds then. Be like Sheerness down this way.
But there's no light pollution because there's not a city there. So you see thousands of stars. It's just unbelievable. The sunsets are amazing. The stars are amazing.
East Island at night into Google. Oh, wow. Amazing. So you can stay on there then. You can stay on the island. Can you get food and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, there's markets and restaurants and stuff there.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
boats that come in all the time with supplying them with stuff, and planes, obviously.
yeah.
Um,
It's amazing.
but yeah, amazing. It really is worth going.
Wow. I'm putting it on my list.
If you can go one day, you will not regret
Mm.
it. It'll be one of the best experiences for you. Honestly, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll do a live stream.
Mark says he's got my Centauri perfume samples. So it'd be interesting. You'll have to let me know what you think, Mark. I really want to go to Tibet, says Aaron. Yeah, I would love to go to Tibet too. I want to go wherever there aren't any people, says Robert.
Wants to go where there's only potatoes.
Potato and Guinness.
And leprechauns.
Peru is on my list. The film I've seen of the country is lovely. Too bad Lima did not feel safe. Did you take a direct flight to South America, Pete? No. I flew from Manchester to France, and then from France to Lima, I think. So I kind of went backwards to go forwards for some reason, but the planes do that for some reason. But it would you kind of benefited if you speak Spanish, because the main language there is Spanish, and I do not speak Spanish.
Is it as good as your French?
Pretty much. Come to Norway. I have been to Norway. I think Helsinki is Norway, isn't it? I'm not getting my geography confused. I think Helsinki is the capital of Norway. Pretty sure.
I think I went to Norway on the ship.
I've been to Helsinki, which I'm presuming,
Finland.
or is that? Am I wrong? Is it Finland?
Norway is
Norway. What's the? Is it Oslo?
Can't remember.
Okay. Finland is Helsinki. Yeah, you're right. It is Oslo. Yeah, sorry, my mistake.
Go to Norway then.
Yeah, I was getting brain confused. I've never been to Oslo or Norway.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been to Norway. I'm just looking up ports to see if I recognise any names.
Oh, hi Anna, how you doing? Anna's in the chat. Nice to see you. We've just been talking about vanilla fragrances. If you've just joined, we're talking about travel now, because we've just, I don't know, we've gone into something else. But we've been chatting about our favorite vanilla fragrances: Eau de Méchants, Kiehl's Vanilla and Cedar, Ivory Root by Zizhov,
a whole load of Guerlains over here.
Whole load of Guerlains.
Bras d'Harmonie. We've got Iris Ganache, and we've both got 3, 2, 1. No.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm delayed. There we go.
Oh look.
To do the tap thing, I have to go backwards, and it's really confusing for me.
It's difficult.
I've got a mirror image. Wait. Okay. 3, 2.
Hang on, I'm not quite ready. Hang on. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Ding.
Almost. It's too difficult for me. Okay. Pete, your memory cleared from the other day. Yeah, I was. My brain had gone blech the other day. Be quicker on the ball, Pete. Sorry. I did correct myself before. I didn't Google anything. I was like, oh no, it's Oslo. It went in, but it took a second.
Oh, who won the vanilla battle, by the way?
I think that was you, Claire. I only got one. Which one did I win with? Ivory Roots?
Yes.
I won with Ivory Root, and then Claire won on literally everything else.
With all the Guerlains. And
Robert is off to the pub to get some Guinness. Have a good one, my friend.
Potato, Robert.
Have a potato before you leave, so it's not on an empty stomach. Potato. He's a good lad. Have a good one, Robert. So, I don't know what to talk about now.
Nope, me neither.
Frank says, I'm craving Loon Feline. Used 5ml decant, which is empty. He needs a full bottle of that stuff.
It is so good. You tease him again. So good.
I'm going to shake the gold up.
Look at that. Double the beauty there. Look.
It is quite satisfying watching the gold flakes go around, isn't it?
I love it. And I like it that it comes out on your skin. I don't know if you've noticed that, but little bits of gold come out on your skin when you spray it.
Yeah, make you a little sparkly.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be sparkly, right, Pete?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I bet you love a bit of glitter and sparkle, don't you?
Oh, dear.
At the weekends, maybe.
Yeah, only on a Sunday. Everyone's loving Loon Feline.
Bling bling bottles. Hi Lizzie, didn't see you there, Lizzie. And Tracy, we've got in here.
I don't know how much it costs, Floating Man, because I was given it for free, so I didn't pay for it.
I think they're around the £200 mark.
Oh, really?
Something like that. 190, I think.
It is to be fair, it's 100ml, so it is a big bottle. So I think it's priced fairly, considering it's 100ml.
I think the fact that it performs so well, it smells so good, the bottle looks bloody amazing. Put it all together, and I think it's actually quite a good value because you don't need a lot. I mean, I spray a lot, but that's because
I think 2 sprays and it's going to be lasting you till the next day. I mean, it's ridiculous. So for that, I've got no problem with what it costs.
£225, £225 retail.
Frank says Peter's going to put diamonds in his next release.
Yes, do that.
Oh, can you imagine how much that would cost? Oh my lord. Tammy says
saw your blue bottle. Did you? And you took that photo?
Yeah, that's just on my desk over there.
Looked amazing. Like, I don't know how you get the lighting to like make it
blossom.
Shine. Yeah, it looked really good.
I don't know if you've seen on my live streams where I'm sat at the desk, but I've got this copper lamp. It's just an ordinary desk lamp, but I set that at like a low angle so it shines into the bottle.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So as the light comes through it, you're taking a picture from the opposite side, so you get that kind of pearlescent-y, purpley blue hue coming in because the light's going in sideways through it, and you get the perspective of it from the camera. I like photography. I'm a bit of a I don't want to say nerd, but
I'd say you probably are a nerd, whether we're talking about photography or anything else.
I have an eye for it. I think not to be big-headed, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy framing stuff and taking pictures. So yeah, all the pictures I do for the Centauri is all my own photography. I don't pay anyone to do that stuff for me.
Amazing. Oh, it's good that you can do that. You can at least cut costs somewhere by doing that yourself, can't you? And they look amazing.
Thank you. It's true though. I mean, I'm blessed in the sense that all the things that I need to come together for a perfume brand, I can do all the aspects of it myself. I don't have to pay anyone to do anything. I can do the website, I can do the bottling, I can do the design work, I can do literally every single aspect is just me. So I'm blessed in the sense that I've got that I don't know what the word is, enough dexterity to be able to do all these different things.
Multi-skilled?
Maybe. But blessed nonetheless. Roses and Jones, nerds rule.
Tammy, nerds and geeks are...
Nerds are the best.
There we are, see?
Am I officially a nerd now, am I?
I think you're in the nerd brigade.
Oh, man. Cool.
We can all be nerds together. Frag nerds.
Okay.
Frag and nerds.
Ah, dear. Where would
Oh,
we be without nerds? That's true. All that
Lizzie.
fancy technology, it's all nerds in a good way.
Lizzie's talking about her bottle of
Ellie Saab.
yes. Have you tried this one,
I have
Peter?
not, no.
Oh, it's so good. It's ridiculous because you like rose, don't you?
I
It,
do. I enjoy Rose.
it's quite it's like a rich jammy rose, um, and then it dries down and it just has this slightly sweetened. I think it's labdanum. It's not listed, but it feels to me like there's like labdanum and a tiny hint of vanilla. It's just something addictive about it. I mean, I've had that bottle and it was brand new. I've had it a week and I've done that to it.
That's pretty impressive for a week.
Yeah, so I took it to bed with me, and every time I woke up, I sprayed more. But it actually lasts okay. It just doesn't project very well, so that's why I felt the need to keep spraying it. But it's a really good rose, I think. Anyway, Liz is saying it was a bit soapy for her or to her nose. I don't really get that, but
Rose is the scent of an open heart,
right.
which is lovely. The spiritual kind of stuff, like when you open your heart chakra, the sense of an open heart is meant to be rose, which I think is quite beautiful.
That's interesting.
Good night, fragrance geeks. I need to take care of my little one. Have a good one, olfactive stories.
Night.
Christy's also got a run. Thanks for joining in, Christy. Have a good one. Take care.
Floating Man says I have a problem taking the fragrance to bed. Do you take fragrances to bed, Peter? Does anyone else take fragrances to bed with them? Hands up.
What do you mean by taking them to bed? Do you mean literally the bottle with you?
I don't tuck it in next to me or like start making moves on it, but I put it on the shelf beside me, and then I like to know that if it's something new and I'm really loving it, then I like to know it's near, and then I can just, like, if I feel like it, I can reach for it and maybe spray the pillow or spray myself or something.
I don't do that, no.
No. Anyone else?
But sometimes I will spray something on, like maybe an hour or two before I go to bed, so I can smell it while I'm going to sleep. But I don't keep it next to me.
No, okay.
That's a bit OTT.
Oh, is it now?
Forever. I was going to say the channel name, Tammy. Rose is my bitch forever. She says, "Love heart, love heart, love heart." Do you have an absolute favorite rose perfume, Claire?
Oh,
if you had to pick one.
I think this is actually it has taken over, because I used to wear one called Stella Rose Absolute. I don't know if you know that one. And it got it disappeared and it came back and it wasn't the same, and then it disappeared again anyway. And this is the closest I can get to what my memory of what that was like. And I'm just loving what this is doing so much. I honestly think this is probably my favorite rose now. Yeah.
I think the nicest one, the most recent one I've smelled that I quite liked was Love Kills by Mask Milano. Did you smell that one when you were in Milan?
No, I haven't tried that one.
It was a new release. They had it at the beginning of Essence, and I smelled it there. And that one's lovely. There's a little bit of there's a slight geranium note to it, which I wasn't keen on because I'm not. Yeah. Geranium reminds me a little bit of bug spray. It's got that citrusy, kind of insect repellent smell to it, but it doesn't come out too much in Love Kills. I get kind of a nuance of it, and then it goes away. But it's this bright, kind of alive rose. It's like the rose is living on your skin. Kind of bright and sparkly rose, if that makes sense. It's got a liveness to it, and then but it transitions. And the story behind it is that it's like Romeo and Juliet, I think, and the rose starts to die and wither, and then it turns to ash. And at the end, it's just the ash of the rose as it's died, which is quite kind of poetic.
Okay, so it goes a bit smoky then.
It doesn't go smoky, but it goes kind of dusty and dry. But it's a lovely rose.
I will look for it. I like my roses either gourmand or dark and kind of gothic. So I don't really like, like very, very fresh, girly. I don't like Chloe, for instance. I don't mind Chloe on someone else, but it just wouldn't be something I would want to wear. It's too nice, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see Sweetie?
Yes.
Come on. Come on here. She's got 2 paws on the chair. She can't make her mind up. Come on. There she comes. Here she is. Do you want to say hello to Peter?
What breed of cat is that?
She's an exotic. So that means she's a Persian crossed with a British short hair.
Okay.
Oh, she's had enough of that. Oh, she's a little pig. She like snorts and snores because of her face all screwed up.
Yeah.
She's like a little piggy. Like, and she sneezes up my walls and stuff and leaves bogies.
Really? That's funny. Bless her.
Yeah, I forgive her.
My favorite rose fragrance of late is Tobacco Rose, also totally smitten with Intense Cafe. The rose is so Turkish delight and yummy.
Tobacco Rose, that's a good one.
Someone else says Emma says Oud Satin Mood is probably one of my favorites. Yeah, that's again, I mentioned that in my last video actually. Oud Satin Mood is it is a beautiful fragrance. For a woman, I think really especially is beautiful. For a man, I think it can maybe lean a little feminine sometimes, but I wear it myself. It is quite a sweetened rose fragrance with kind of a violety nuance.
I love violet. I need to try that one. I think I've tried them, but I forget because they've all got such similar names. I forget which ones I've tried and which one's which because they're all like Oud Satin Mood, Oud Velvet Mood, and I forget. But Oud Satin Mood is the one you're talking about. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The other ones I'm not quite keen on, but the Oud Satin Mood is quite sensual. It's kind of sexy, to be honest. If I smelled it on a woman, it would be quite seducing. It's a sensual, deep, sweet, velvety. Even though it's called satin, it smells like velvet. It's like luxurious and soft, and there's an elegance to it. I think it's beautiful.
And not oody.
No, I don't get really any oud from Oud Satin Mood. Personally.
Oh, check it out.
Have you tried the Lena? Is that Parfums de Mali?
Yeah, that'll be Parfums de Mali.
Is that the one in the pink bottle?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have tried it. Let me Google it.
I've only tried it at the shops, and it was a bit too pretty and a bit too girly for me. It was kind of like designer level, not generic. Generic's a bit harsh, but very much if you're into designer fragrances, then it's almost like a little step onto the rung of niche. It's not really, to me, it wasn't but it was super pretty. If someone was wearing that around me, I'd tell them they smell awesome, but it's just too pretty for me to wear, I think.
Okay, I've just looked it up on Fragrantica. I don't think I've smelled that one, but looking at the notes, I think I would like it because peony and lychee and rose are like my 3 favorite notes in women's perfumery. I really like peony, and if it's got lychee as well, that fruitiness to it, I would probably really like that one. I'm kind of basic when it comes to, I don't know if basic's the right word. I don't know. I'm not that picky with women's fragrances that I like.
That's like you haven't got to wear them.
Well, yeah, but as a man, like what I like as a men's fragrance is like really limited. Like women's fragrances, as I love loads of them. Like there's loads of really good women's fragrances. I'd have a lot bigger collection if I was a woman, but for the men's, I don't find as many that I like.
Yeah.
Another really good rose fragrance is Rose Noble by Acqua di Parma. Have you tried that one?
I think so, but all the ladies at Acqua di Parmas are too pretty for me still. They're very soft. So I would have smelt it just briefly and dismissed it because I think it's quite, if I remember, quite soft, and that, you know, like pink. It's like pink smell. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
more of a
So
pink rose.
yeah, I prefer. I like it to be really dark, rich, jammy, a bit gothic. You know, teamed up with woods and incense, or going gourmand like Traverse du Bosphore with the almond and the powdered sort of sugar feel. You know.
Mm. See, I like both. I like the dark sweet roses on women, not for myself. Apart from Satin Mood, I can wear that one. But
Mm.
on a woman, no, I like the dark sweet ones, but also I'd like the pink ones, the like musky, fruity pink rose. I find them
Yeah.
really, really pretty and elegant. They
Mm.
have an elegance to them in my head. They just smell, I don't know, super pretty.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really good feminine rose perfumes, I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
Someone's asking about, I think, Proxima. Is it Proxima will be more mad speaking, in my opinion, mass appealing, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I think Proxima is the Claire can chime in a little bit. She smelled an early sample of it, but I think it's the most easy to wear, maybe, or the less specific taste. Am I making sense?
um.
I guess most mass appealing of the three, because the others are like quite specific in the taste. Proxima's
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more easier going, I would say, maybe. I don't know what you think.
I think, well, because it's very strong on the citruses. Certainly, I've not really given it a proper wearing. So, but from sort of testing it briefly, it's very strong on the citruses. So
Mm,
I think that generally has a more mass appeal, doesn't it?
mm.
But I haven't really worn it properly to get the dry down to comment on it.
Yeah. No, I think it is generally, I would say it's the easiest going of the three, whereas the others are maybe a little bit more nichey in terms of the the blending.
Yeah.
Tammy says yes, she thinks Proxima is easier to wear. But it won't be for everyone. Some a comment there, Proxima is not for me, unfortunately. So I mean, you're never going to please everyone. So
Can't. And if you try, you'll come out with some utter dross.
yeah.
You just got to do what you know, aim it where you aim it, don't you?
Well, that's how it goes, isn't it?
Shoot, aim, fire. Any holes of gold. Can I say that on your channel? I did
Say
it.
anything you want. um,
Oh, gosh.
uh, Peter, you're right about Oud Satin Mood being more like velvet. MFK should have really named it Oud Velvet Mood for sure. I'm glad someone else thinks that too. That's what I get from it. But it's a beautiful fragrance. And it's super strong as well. I mean, it's so potent. Literally one spray and you're good for like 12 hours. Nice sillage as well. It floats around in the air. So it's very nice.
I've got to try that one.
Do you think there's aspects of similarity between Interlude Man by Amouage and Atelier des Ors Lune Feline? I don't really think so. Maybe a little bit of that incensiness, possibly the resinousy kind of aspect of it, maybe a tiny bit. But I really don't like Interlude Man. There's something in Interlude Man that really irritates me, and I don't get that from Lune Feline. So for me, they are very quite different. Do you like Amouage? I don't think I've heard you talk about Amouage, Claire.
I've never found one that I love.
Mm,
I find either they're all really incensey, like heavy on the incense, very exotic, and then a couple of the girly ones are maybe just a bit too good. Like Sunshine Woman is actually really nice, but a bit too nice and girly for me, if that makes sense. But
mm,
I had a decant of it. It was lovely, but it didn't quite suit me. So yeah, Amouage is not really is not a house that I've. And once you've tried a few and you kind of think, oh, they're not for me. You kind of stop exploring them. I find what I do, and kind of give up on the house.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm.
I've tried almost all of them for Mamouage, and there isn't a single one that I would buy personally.
Mm.
And there's not one that really stuck in my head of being like amazing, to be honest. I was never floored by an Amouage. But I mean, it's just personal taste. It doesn't mean they're bad.
Yeah.
It's just personal taste. Um, Ginny's in the chat. Hi there. Sorry I'm so late. I didn't know about this live. Hi, Ginny. Hope you're doing well. We've been talking about vanilla fragrances for people that are new to the chat. We started talking about, I think, was it like a top 5 battle of the best
Yeah.
vanillas?
Battle of vanillas.
And then we've kind of talked about all sorts since. So this is Claire Smurfygurly. If you're new to Claire, go subscribe to her channel.
Nice.
Yeah, check her out. She's cool. She does a lot of live streams in the bathtub. If you're if you're into that,
I don't do a lot
ladies
of
in
live streams
ladies
in
in the
the
bath, then give her a subscribe. You'll see her little feet in the bathtub.
bath.
Lola Sense. Hi Lola, how you doing?
Hi.
She's in the loo at work. Well, it's nice to see you, Lola. Hope you're doing well.
Oh,
Tammy says she didn't connect with Amouage either. And Lily says Claire is such a delight.
thanks, Lily.
Ginny says never tried Amouage. They don't appeal to me. I do. To be fair, I think the bottles are lovely. The women's bottles of Amouage are gorgeous.
Yeah, the lilac love and the there's another bloom one or lilac, I can't remember, but yeah, their bottles are pretty.
I like the lids especially. The lids are quite delicate on the women's. So that's a good point. I can give them props for that.
Great lids. I'm going to spend £200 on a bottle. Some love. Yeah, that's right, Taffy. Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about aliens? I'm just kidding.
Do you know what, Peter? I made a special fashion. I've made a special fashion accessory just for this channel.
Go on.
As you invited me on. I don't know if you can see my earrings. They are rockets. They're supposed
that is ace.
Can you see them?
I can see them. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
So that was for, and I'm dressed in green like a Martian as well.
Well, you've made the effort.
Yeah.
10 points. Most excellent. Jasmine says, "Oh, I want to know if Claire has ever seen a UFO."
No, I haven't seen a UFO. I think I saw a ghost as a child, but I'm not going to go there.
Well, too late. It's too late. I want to know the story.
That's the kind of thing I do. Don't do that to me.
Well, you can't just say that and then just not spill the beans. Like, people want to know now.
Do you know what? It's kind of a crap story because it sounds so unreal. Like you not unreal, but it sounds like, well, it had to have been in my head. But I was very little, stayed in my grandparents' front room, and stayed overnight. And there was this, like, I think it was a plate on the wall. And I woke up and a face appeared in the plate and it started talking to me in like this deep, kind of scary voice. So almost like it must have been a hallucination, but it felt like a ghost. And that's like, I remember it so clearly. And it was just saying that
you could hear the voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Saying like, I can't even remember exactly what it was, threatening.
Really?
It said some threatening things to me.
Wow.
But a part of me thinks, well, why would it say these things almost in childlike language, you know, like, I'm going to come and get you, the kind of thing a child
I'm going to come and get you, Claire.
kind of like that.
I'm the evil face in the mirror.
And flashbacks.
Oh dear. How old would you have been?
It's hard to say. 6, 7.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
So maybe if it was like you in like a half sleepy state, maybe it was like you can kind of dream while you're still awake. Do you know what I mean? You have kind of lucid dreams. I don't know.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very clear, and I've always retained this quite strong memory where I've
Or a poltergeist. Did it start? Did it start throwing things at you?
No, luckily. God. But yeah, that's my only real ghosty type story. Although actually in this house when I first moved in, there's a couple of incidents. So the previous people told me that there was a ghost, but the ghost disappeared when they refurbished for some reason.
Didn't like the decor.
Yeah, obviously not. Bit of a snob about that. But they said it disappeared, and then I had was one incident. I was laying in bed, and obviously the cover over me, and then I felt a weight on the bed. So I thought it was Sweetie. So I've gone, oh hi Sweetie, and I kind of like put my arm out, but she wasn't there. And when I looked, she wasn't there, but there was like this weight that had kind of like not heavy, not holding me down, but there was this
depression in the bed.
But it felt there was like it felt positive, if you know what I mean. There was nothing threatening about it.
Okay.
Even though I was mildly nervous at the situation, but I felt something. So, yeah.
My mum told me I've never seen a ghost, but my mother told me a story a while ago of my mum went to boarding school in Whitby, and it was like an old girls' school that was run by nuns, and so they all slept in this dorm room place all together in little single beds, all in one room, and they had these big curtains with these big curtain blinds, and Mum used to steal sweets from the storeroom and hide them, and then at night time she'd go and eat a couple of them. And she got up from bed one day and went behind this big curtain in the curtain on the windows, and went behind the curtain, and she felt a hand on her back, and she like crapped herself, turned around, and there's nobody there, and all the girls are asleep in bed, and the room was dark, and there's nothing, but she physically felt a hand on her back.
Yeah.
And she was like convinced that there was a ghost there, which was I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
So
what that's all about.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, if an alien came to Earth and asked you for one fragrance to take back to his planet for study, which one would you give them? That is a tough one. I'll let you go first, Claire, because I need time to think. I'm going to put you on the spot.
I think it needs to be like a classic, doesn't it? Something that kind of epitomizes where we are right now, do you think? So yeah, Dolce & Gabbana the one. I'm joking.
I hope so.
Maybe.
Oh dear.
Now number 5 because it's just the most famous.
Iconic. I would go with that. Yeah, something like that. Something that really has dominated the world in a big way. Because obviously it's spoken to so many people. It's part of the culture, so it makes sense to pick something like that. I'd go with that. Jasmine says number 5, the sense of humanity of the last century. So I was reading a book, Communion, and one night I swore I saw an alien at the edge of my bed. I actually got up and checked my apartment. It was really unnerving. Probably just the book. Maybe you got a really vivid imagination, Ginny. I don't know. Can aliens even smell though? Good question. I presume they would have a sense of smell if they have a body.
Would they need one though? I mean, if you're on another planet, then you don't have oxygen, right? So
what? Why would another planet not have oxygen?
Don't we have the monopoly on oxygen here?
Is that a serious question? Do you know where oxygen comes from? Trees and plants and stuff. Exactly. So if there's an atmosphere and living things, then another planet would have oxygen. But saying that, I'm sure that there could be species that exist with a very different atmosphere where they don't rely as much on oxygen as we do.
Yeah, they might.
Sure, there's life that's like evolved in a different way, so to speak,
Mm,
physically. I mean, um, I don't know.
yeah.
Plants are a good example. I mean, they technically breathe carbon dioxide, so and a plant is a living thing.
Mm. So plants
So
have noses.
I don't think they have noses, but you know what I mean, though. They are breathing in. They are breathing in carbon dioxide and pushing out oxygen.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. Man, the universe excites me so much. The possibility of what's out there. An infinite universe. You can't even wrap your mind around it. Do you know what's fascinating?
What?
There's 40 billion with a B planets just in the Milky Way that are like Earth.
Really?
40 billion. And people say, oh, there's no life out there. It's like, are you kidding me? Times 40 billion Earth-like planets in the Milky Way times 2 trillion known galaxies. That is a lot of Earth-like planets in the
But we've obviously
habitable zone.
never been able to get to these places.
Not yet, but I think one day.
I think EasyJet and Ryanair might be working on it.
Probably. Roses and Jones. I once stuck my fingers in a live lamp wire about 11 years old. The moment I touched it, I felt someone grab my sides and squeeze. Assumed it was my sister and turned to yell at her, but there was nobody there.
Wow.
You sure that wasn't an electric shock? Touched a live lamp wire. Please don't have lungs either, so maybe they smell in different ways. They could have different olfactory receptors that perceive our sense in a different way. Is the universe expanding? What is expanding into? Oh man, we're getting into some crazy stuff.
We're dealing with someone with a small brain when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I might end up drowning.
People do say that the universe is expanding, but at the same time they say it's infinite. So if it's infinite, then what is it expanding into if it's infinite? So there is an interesting idea there. And I don't have the answer to it. I have no idea. I don't know whether the universe is finite and it keeps expanding outwards. But like you say, what is it expanding into? Or whether it's infinite, in which case, how can it expand if it's infinite? But then we also know that the physical universe is getting further and further apart. We know that galaxies are moving apart, planets are moving apart. So eventually, the suns will be really far apart. They will die, and then there'll be nothing left. It'll just be a cold, blank, empty blackness. Eventually, so that's what awaits us all.
That's a cheery thought.
There's a cold, dark, empty blackness. But I don't think it's something to worry about, to be honest.
The Dane is saying that plants can smell.
Can they?
Yeah, she says actually plants do perceive smells. It's been studied how communication does happen interspecies through smelly molecules when there's a common threat.
Ah, so it makes sense. Plants, I mean, they're really intelligent.
Mm.
My
plant's not, because it would have run away before I killed it. The one time I tried to look after a plant and it died.
Oh, did you forget to water it?
Yes.
Oh, being a bad girl. Got to water those plants.
Poor little bugger.
Actually, I watched a thing on plants a little while ago, and how did it go? It was something to do with they had two plants next to each other, and that they could do something to one plant where they would it would. Okay, so I think this is how it went. Okay, no, hold on, I'm getting this wrong. Okay, so you've got a plant in a pot, right? And it's a specific type of plant, and what they did was they dropped the plants on imagine it on like a lift, and it would just kind of drop it like that. And the plant, it was one of these plants, where the leaves close up. So it would close its leaves, the Venus flytrap ones. It would close its leaves as the thing dropped. but the plant was intelligent. It knew that when it dropped and nothing happened, nothing hurt it, eventually it opened up its thing back. But because it can only do that so many times and it's taking energy to do that, it doesn't want to do it when it's not necessary. So when it's not going to get a meal or when it's not in danger. So it figured out at this repetitive dropping that it doesn't need to close its leaf anymore. So after like 2 or 3 drops, it learned to not bother doing it. So then they would drop it and it would not move. It actually, it learned, like it had a brain, it learned not to do it anymore.
Wow.
And then they changed its environment and like made it do it like a week later and a month later, and it remembered. Like a month later, it remembered the drop not to open its things.
You know what though? I feel sorry for that plant, and I think it probably needs to go to therapy now, because that's quite a lot to go through.
It is, but isn't that incredible that it actually remembers? I think that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you got the mycelium network, which runs under the ground. All these little, I think it comes from fungi, but this mycelium network links to other plants and trees and stuff, and it all communicates to each other.
Wow.
And it's like the Earth's internet under the ground. So when there's a threat happening where like something's going wrong, like in a tree that's got a disease or something like that, it sends signals down the mycelium network and tells all the other plants and trees in the area that this is happening, and it warns them all. I mean, it's like super intelligent.
Wow.
So there's so much we don't appreciate of nature, how intelligent nature is, that it's a living organism in itself. I don't know, it's just amazing. The universe and the earth and nature, it just blows my mind. Hold on. Dana says they transfer minerals and food too when in dire needs. There's a woman called Susan Simard who studies that forest ecology and speaks about it on TED. Fascinating stuff. They send each other food through mycelia as well. Nice. Interspecies. I just wish my brain was more intelligent to understand more. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? What's going on out there? You don't even know about it.
It's all under your feet, and we just don't know.
Mental. I have to tell you this. I accidentally killed a spider the other day, and I feel really bad because I asked you in a live stream if you ever kill insects, and I always avoid killing insects. Or anything. I don't want to hurt anything. But when I was running my bath, I forgot that the little spidey had been running around, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. So.
In the bathtub, you mean?
Yeah.
You drowned it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I forgot. I forgot that I'd seen it, and I thought I better remove that. Because I let them go out the window, and I kind of like, because they catch on the breeze, don't they? And off they go. Yeah, I forgot, and then I started running the bath, and then it was too late. But you know what I thought? I thought we'd come back as a bigger spider.
Well, that's a bonus, isn't it? I've just drowned painfully and slowly in a hot bath, but it's okay because I'll come back an even bigger spider. And then I'm going to sew a cobweb. I don't know where I'm going with this conversation. I was just thinking of this spider plotting its revenge on you in the next life. Oh dear. Talking sense. Good to see you both on the same channel. You chaps are looking healthy. New hair, Claire. High five.
Thanks. Cheers.
We're looking healthy, apparently. That's good. It's always better than looking ill.
Yes, or worse, dead.
One spider I dried off on tissue, yet it looked dead, and after it wore off for 20 minutes.
No, maybe I should have saved it. Maybe. No, it was beyond saving. I'm sure of
that. I'm okay with killing bugs in the house. I say a prayer for them and then send them on to the after. That's terrible.
Didn't Ted Bundy do that?
Oh man. Same, Ginny. You don't have to kill it. Just get it out of my vicinity. Yeah, I don't know. I just move them.
I really hate flies, though. I've got to be honest with you.
I'm not bothered about flies.
Yeah.
Just open a window.
I don't know. They really they massively get on my tits. They're just like, especially in the summer, you know, like in the kitchen. And,
I know they can be annoying in the
buzz
kitchen.
around you, and yeah, I swear they're evil.
They're nothing. Nah, they're not evil. I mean, you can't help what you see. The thing is, right? It's like, who chooses? Well, I don't know if we choose. I was going to say who chooses what we're born as, but I have no idea. It's like that. It's still a life. You know what I mean? We could have been a fly, and it's no different, really.
I know. I know what you're saying. I
It's
just
like,
had a shout out to Sean Brown. Sean Brown trolled my cat. I put it on Facebook. So Sean Brown on my one of my previous videos said, "Your cat is so ugly," and now he's just said, "Hey Smurf, I was only messing about on the cat." That's all right. You're forgiven. But you know what? Loads of my Facebook friends are like gunning for you because they love Sweetie so much.
funny.
Don't tell Sweetie you're in the room, Sean.
If you ever lived down south in the US, you would understand. Homes would be overrun by bugs. How does one feel bad about killing a fly but eat meat and other animals? I don't eat meat. So,
and I'm not saying a word.
Kill it, stop wrapping your human emotions to other things that live. That's a bit of an odd comment, isn't it? Just kill everything because I'm a human. How does that make sense? Decay is part of the cycle of life. What they do is wonderful when they think about it. Nothing wrong with eating meat. Lily says, laughing my ass off, Peter. I used to eat meat, and then I decided I can't do it anymore. So it's a fairly new thing for me. I haven't eaten meat for maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 months. It's quite a while. But I cook with vegetarian meat now, soya meat. So I don't particularly feel like I miss it that much. It's good to have a replacement, if you know what I mean, because I could still make like lasagnas and pastas and stuff. Because like you can get vegetarian sausages now. So I used to have I used to make pasta stuff, so I can just do that with vegetarian stuff instead, and I don't really notice the difference, so it doesn't matter to me.
Did you find you lost weight when you did that?
Yeah. Stopping eating meat and sugar as well. I stopped. I used to drink energy drinks like Lucozades and Red Bulls and Coke. As soon as I stopped that and stopped eating meat, I have lost weight for sure. So it definitely has an effect. But careful with deficiencies. I take vitamin B12 since stopping eating meat, so I do take a vitamin because you get that from eating red meat. So I do take vitamin B12. Not that that's very interesting, but I do try and stay healthy as I can. We're not meant to eat meat regularly, and we don't need to. Wonder why everyone is sick. Too much meat. I don't know. We don't have to talk about. I'm gonna get hungry. I'm actually kind of hungry now.
Actually, I've got to put the oven on, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm cooking. I'm not telling anyone what I'm cooking.
Is it roast chicken? It's some kind of animal.
It is. It's Sweetie. I've run out of food. I can't be asked to go to the supermarket, so I'm going to skin Sweetie and chuck her in the oven.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Sean's coming round to dine on Sweetie.
Tasty.
Chew on her rubbery, dried up nose.
Come visit Israel, Peter. I would love to one day. Watch documentary about Game Changer debunked on Food Lies channel. Oh man, I don't know if I want to watch that. So, oh my god, we've been on for almost 2 hours. Okay, do you want to do 5 more minutes and then we'll call it? We'll round it off at 2 hours.
Perfect.
And then you can do your
go and eat eat my living animals.
Yes, exactly. So if you've got any questions for me and Claire, and if you've not subscribed to Claire, go to Smurfygurly's channel
Oh,
and
thanks.
give her a subscribe. Check her out. And if you've got any questions for us while we're here chatting away, fire some questions at us for the last 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, and then we're off. I'm
Yes.
kind of. You've made me hungry now. I'm gonna go get some food as well.
Yeah, so Blaine says, is Mr. Smelly a carnivore? Yeah, he eats meat, if that's what you mean.
Game Changer has been on Joe Rogan and provided every claim of his and proved every claim of his. There is no debunking. I've no idea what we're talking about on that, so I can't enlighten anyone on that. I
That's
know
his food lies thing.
I know Joe Rogan does eat meat, but he hunts his own. He hunts like wild deer and stuff, and he'll do all the meat stuff himself. He'll like cut it up himself, and he's got like a freezer full of deer meat and stuff. Are you still eating fish? Well, I wanted to avoid that since we were talking about living things, but yeah, I'm a pescatarian. I eat mackerel and I eat mussels. So I have mussels in garlic sauce, cooked mussels, and mackerel is like a nice oily fish to get the oils that I think are healthy for you. But I don't eat like land animals. Tammy says it was lovely to catch you two together.
Good to see you, Tammy.
Thanks, Tammy. You guys are both welcome to come visit Kentucky anytime. We can go get bourbon and hot browns.
What's that?
What are hot browns?
Hot browns sound good.
I don't know what that is.
Are they sweet? Is it chocolate?
I'm presuming bourbon is whiskey.
Mm.
I don't drink, Hillary. I'm teetotal. No alcohol for me. I'll just have water, please.
Can I have a vodka and Diet Coke, please? Hillary. And whatever a hot brown is.
Yes, I'm a pescatarian. Have you seen a fish while diving that looked particularly appetizing?
That's so random.
That's an odd question. Not really. I have seen a lot of beautiful fish offshore diving and some kind of more exotic kind of things. And the offshore guys do go fishing offshore. They have fishing rods, and when we're not working and when the vessel's still, they cast their lines and they catch barracuda. But they'll stab the barracuda in the head on the deck, and they'll gut it, and then they'll make what they call Filipino salad. So they'll chop up the fish meat and they'll soak it in vinegar, and that cures the fish. And then they squeeze the vinegar out, and then they mix it with salt and lemon juice and chopped up vegetables, and then they'll eat the fish raw with the little bits of vegetables, and they call that a Filipino salad. So I never had that personally because it kind of freaked me out. But
Sounds gross.
yeah.
I got chased by a barracuda once.
You got what?
Chased by a barracuda when
Really?
I was about, yeah. So there was all these silver fish, loads of them, massive shoal of silver fish. So I swam up to it and I was out of my depth. And then I remembered David Attenborough always says that where there's a shoal of fish, there's always a predator. And I looked and I saw this big shadow and I thought it was a shark. So of course I turn, I start swimming. I look behind me and it's chasing me. So I ran out, and it was like quite short to get back to the beach. I ran out. I had a swimming costume on with no straps. So it fell down, and the lifeguard was stood laughing on the shore.
Oh dear.
I covered myself up, and he told me it was a barracuda. He must have thought I was a fish.
Yeah,
and those things are ugly.
Yeah, they're very. They've got kind of a long, pointy face, and they're kind of very muscular and solid. And they've got really sharp teeth, like they're
all like the little, all loads of teeth and a really ugly face.
Yeah,
that is barracuda, isn't it? Yeah.
But there's loads of them in Dubai offshore. We
Mm.
have to swim through like groups of hundreds of them. But we have sharks there as well. There's a lot of sharks, black tip sharks. The craziest thing I've had offshore in terms of life down there was I was on the seabed in the dark. We were installing a new pipeline, and this was at night time. And I was literally just on the seabed, just tidying up the site with the. We had a crane coming down to the floor, and I had to just strap up some big poles to the crane. And I was busy working, and the supervisor says, "Just watch out, Pete. There's a stingray to your left." And I looked, sorry, to the right, and I looked, and there's a massive stingray, and it's literally like a meter away from me, and it's huge. I mean, it's bigger than me. That's how big it was, and it's just like right on the bottom, just kind of waving its whole body around with this huge tail, and the tail looks like a sword. I mean, it's like Excalibur on the back of it. And this thing would this stingray would it would swim up to me, turn its body, and wave its tail like this, and then point the end of its tail like that at me, and then swim away, and then come back, swing its tail, and then point it at me like that, and its tail would come within like 2 inches of me. And I'm like, if this thing goes for me, I'm buggered. Like, I'm gone. Because that's how Steve Irwin died. Yeah, the tail is like a sword. It can pierce through your body. Steve Irwin had that tail go through his heart. So, and that thing was right there, like warning me. I mean, it literally was warning me. So I didn't do anything. I just carried on working and tried to just not provoke it. And then the ROV, there's an underwater robot filming all this happening, which so I've got the footage of it as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and as I turn away to walk back to the basket after I finish my job, the stingray chases me. It chases after me. I didn't see it because I had my back to it, but it didn't actually attack me. But that was crazy experience.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've been a full 2 hours.
Yes.
I think we're gonna call it a day because I think we're both hungry. So it was lovely you being on, Claire. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been great.
For a lovely chat.
You are welcome here anytime, Claire. Anytime you want.
Thank you.
And for everyone watching, again, if you're new to Claire, go check her out. She's called Smurfygurly on YouTube, and subscribe to her channel. Show her some love, and we'll both see you soon with more videos. And take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. End broadcast.